Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 313. Apologies for the lack of uploads over the last week or so. I've been doing the workouts and I've got them edited, just ready to upload. I just don't have, I guess you could say the motivation, or I can't find the time to actually think of something to say in these videos. I don't know, it's a real sense of friction for me at the moment, actually finding something to talk about in these videos. The number of times where I sort of start off on one train of thought and then I get halfway through and I think, what am I actually talking about here? Is this going to be valuable to anyone that's actually listening? Me just reeling off a bunch of random stuff. So my default is just talk about the workouts, the reason why I'm doing the workouts and what I'm working on with the workouts. So I guess I'll just carry on with that in this video here. So in this workout, I wanted to focus on acceleration sprinting, most notably accelerating from a bunch of different positions. I like this stance here where you're sort of accelerating from a kneeling start. It's a very compromised position, but what's really good about accelerating from a kneeling start is it forces you to have that forward torso and shin angle, which are very, very key for improving your acceleration ability. I find that's a really good primer for then getting into like a 3-point start or something, or then also moving into like a turn stance where you sort of start at a 90-degree angle. So you point your head and torso at a 90-degree angle from where you're sprinting from. These knee-up jump sprints are also fantastic. But, it doesn't really matter the position that you're doing an acceleration sprint from, as long as you're getting those key points I was talking about, the forward shin angle or the positive shin angle and the positive torso angle. The more positive you can get those without obviously falling over and losing balance, the better, really, because it means that you're going to be putting more horizontal force into the ground as opposed to vertical force. The more horizontal force you can put into the ground, the better and better you'll be at accelerating. Then moving on to a little superset that I did here. I guess you could call it a superset. I superset med ball tosses. I think this med ball, if I'm not mistaken, was like 4 kilos. 8.8 pounds for those of you watching in the States. And then I supersetted that with some bounding drills. Usually for bounding drills, I will do it from a running start, but I've been experimenting a lot recently with doing it from like a broad jump. So you do like a broad jump, cover as much distance as you can. Then instead of landing on 2 legs like a regular broad jump, you're then going to land on 1 leg and then use that momentum to continue on with the bounding drills. I like to do this with alternating bounds and single leg bounds. And this is actually a really good measure of power output and just overall strength capacity. Power output, I guess you could say, is just measuring the distance that you can do with 5 bounds. So you broad jump as far as you can, then you do like 5 or 6 bounds, or however a given number of bounds with 1 leg, single leg, double leg, alternating, whatever it is. And then you just use that as a distance gauge to see how much power you're able to put out. Obviously, the more power horizontally you're able to put out, and the better you are at absorbing and producing force elastically with bounding drills, then the greater the distance you're going to be able to cover. So it's a good measure of power output to check the distance in 5 bounds, 10 bounds, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. Then I finished up with a few sets of leg extensions, working on a little bit of eccentric overloads. So you can see me pushing down the bar here on the last couple of reps. That's just so I can get a little bit of extra load on my quadriceps and also my quadriceps and patella tendons. The main purpose of doing this is just to get as much blood flow into the quadriceps muscle and therefore the quadriceps tendon as possible. There's no sort of benefit to strength that's really going to happen here. This is purely just for structural integrity of the quadriceps tendon and quadriceps muscle. The quadriceps muscle, and then as a result of that, the quadriceps tendon. So one of the best ways to alleviate, if you guys, any of you struggling with jumper's knee, is to utilize the leg extension machine like this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's workout, guys. Apologies again for the lack of uploads. I'm going to be basically spamming you with a bunch of uploads in the next couple of hours, couple of days. So please stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next video.